Hey guys, thanks for stopping by to watch another video here at alliseeisW, where we talk about stocks, Bitcoin, and finance, where the goal is to gain on positive proceeds and lead with an altruistic mindset. In today's video, I wanted to talk about whether MicroStrategy, MSTR Titan Company, is MSTR a better buy than the miners, for example, the big four miners. I'll go through my updates as to whether the miners or MSTR is a better buy, or is it better to have a dual threat effect along with having Bitcoin leveraged as part of investing. We'll cover all of that with fundamental and technical analysis updates. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to hit the like, subscribe. I would really appreciate your support in the year 2025 for me to grow this YouTube channel. So much love. Let's get started. First off, I wanted to talk about just overall Bitcoin. So we've been seeing some healthy consolidation with the price of Bitcoin now at the sub 105,000. We saw so much movement in the weekend leading up to the inauguration, Donald Trump entering the White House starting on Monday when the markets are closed, but Bitcoin will still be up and running. One of the interesting things is we saw so many altcoins moving, especially with altcoins that were created, even like Trump coin, MAGA coin, all of those things have been just running up significantly. And that is coupled with like Solana network chain, which has driven up the price of crypto. What does that mean? We're seeing different sectors have bullish runs, but especially what we saw when Trump was in the first term president, he had the stock market running so much. So I think there's going to be inflows into the cryptocurrency market, but then we're going to start seeing market makers start making some up and running stocks, some bull runs, just like GameStop type of runs. So what does this mean? I think there's huge upside in the stock market as well. In addition to the crypto market, we're going to see some push and pull tug of war going on here between the market makers and the whales on the crypto side. So the fact that Bitcoin has potential breakthrough entering 200,000 in the year 2025, we're up for some big time price action for many stocks here. So just with news around Bitcoin, ETFs are just up and coming. Vanguard, for example, with IBIT, I mean, there's just been so many inflows with billions of dollars flooding into those ETFs. Along with now, we've heard, Pennsylvania, Texas, Missouri, and now even Switzerland and Wyoming considering adopting strategic Bitcoin reserves, enhancing financial independence, and being, a global cryptocurrency leadership trying to combat inflation. What's also interesting is that we're seeing, Bitcoin Reserve executive orders that's going to be coming out as soon as, you know, on Monday, tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to hear what Trump has to say with the executive order. But once Bitcoin starts running up, I think we're going to see so much upsides in these type of plays here. Now, just wanted to share with you, a Bitcoin rainbow price indicator chart here. The key takeaway is that we're still in that accumulation phase. We haven't got to that, the red orange phase yet, where it's more of that maximum bubble territory. So the Bitcoin bull run has barely begun, guys. 2025 is going to be huge breakthroughs here. Here we're looking at just overall Bitcoin holdings. So you see here, orange is like the biggest piece of the section here with ETFs. We realize that like MSTR, public companies like in blue, MSTR has like the most Bitcoins on their treasury right now. And you have like Vanguard, IBIT, they're like 66% away from what MSTR has. But what's interesting is you see MSTR with 450,000 Bitcoins. You factor that in once Bitcoin runs up to 200K, that's going to be their fair value. Market cap is indeed growing. MSTR, we'll cover some news updates as well. Mara, they're at like 45,000 Bitcoins, and every day they're mining continuously, along with Riot Platforms, close to about 18,000 Bitcoins. So huge numbers as well. In addition to that, we have like CleanSpark over 10,000 Bitcoins. So a lot of, the North American miners are trying to ramp up their reserve with Bitcoin to have strategies such as becoming a Bitcoin bank. They're leasing out their Bitcoins, even though they still technically own the Bitcoin, but they're making money off of these clients. Think of like a car dealership where you're leasing out your cars, but technically you're getting paid every month and then you get the car back in the end. But Bitcoin, the value continues to go up. A car devalues, so there's a difference there. Let's take a look at MSTR here in that they're planning on issuing additional shares. And what that is for is to continue to buy Bitcoin. We've been just seeing Michael Saylor week after week buying up Bitcoin until it gets depleted. According to the Bitcoin design, Satoshi, he has the last Bitcoin to be mined 2140. So we have about 120 years left in terms of just mining. But can you imagine that price of that very last Bitcoin mine? You factor in supply and demand, the demand for the very last Bitcoin, it has a branding, for that last Bitcoin mine, I'm sure it could be priced at, such a high price. So the key takeaway here is that, investors, they're not too worried here, even though, most investors worry about dilution. I think because MSTR's focus is to continue to ramp up its market cap and has demonstrated remarkable returns since launching its Bitcoin buying plan, I think investors are still going to allow this to happen and allow for the market cap for MSTR to continue to grow, similar to what we've seen with big time companies that have adopted this strategy, such as Amazon and Alpha. Alphabet, Google. So I think we're going to see all of this come into fruition and MSTR will continue to increase their HODL. What does this mean from a technicals analysis standpoint here? Most of you are wondering, is MSTR a better buy than the miners or are the miners a better buy than MSTR? We're looking at technical updates here. We did see MSTR go up to about 800% at one point year to date for 2024, but it ended at around 400%. It cut by half, towards the end of the year. But just looking at, let's say, like a 3 month range here, we see MSTR, at 100%. That's still factoring in that run up to November. But you see here, just with 3 months trajectory, we're beginning to see some upside with the miners. You see Riot here 71%, IREN 59%, CleanSpark 34%, Mara 28%. Most of you are wondering, is the performance of what we've seen with MSTR last year, is it going to continue? It's possible that it will continue. I have belief that MSTR could potentially break through the $1,000 range currently at 396. I mean, it retested, I think it hit 550 at one point, so there's no problem for it not to hit that price. However, I think that with the miners, especially what we've seen, Riot at one point it reached $20, with its prior resistance. Iron, just recently, last couple of weeks was at $15. It's now at like close to $10. Huge upside there. CleanSpark, a couple weeks ago, like 6 weeks ago, it was at $18. I mean, recently it was at $9. Mara, we saw, just ups and downs. It had $30 as well, and it recently went down to about $16. But to me, I think that the 1x potential, those retests on the prior resistance, we're going to see that happen with these miners here. I think from a near term perspective, we can see the miners' rate of return to be significantly higher than MSTR. Yes, even though we see MSTR tightening up consolidation, I see definitely that it's going to retest that 550, but in Q1, are we going to see it run up to $800? I think the miners have the potential to have a faster speed of velocity in the near term, and that's why I think, just from a near term perspective in Q1 through Q3, there's potential for 3 to 5x potential with these miners because they've been beat down so much in the year 2024. The seasonality performance, because it underperformed in 2024, it will outperform in 2025. So there you have it. Most of you are wondering, is the miners a better buy than MSTR or is MSTR a better buy than miners? I really don't know. I think both sectors have upside, but if I were to making an investment, I would select, one of these top four miners that I see have potential. So there you go. I hope you found this video valuable. Please let me know what your comments and questions are down below. Thank you.